Hey guys, Connor here. So today's Valentine's Day, and I found myself this year single, and that is okay. And I think this is really my time to spend time with God, to spend time with me, to build a relationship with myself. And this is the book that I've been reading, Mental Detox by Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And I was watching her podcast with Club Shay, and she just really inspired me. I'm like, this is an amazing woman, and she's just beautiful every single way, the way she thinks, the way she talks to people, how she holds the space for you to be vulnerable and, take accountability. I loved everything about her. And so I was like, let me see what this book is about. And the first couple pages in this book, I was like, whoa, I had no idea I was still thinking these things. It starts off with prompts that you can do, like exercises. So each day I dedicate like an hour to where I'm sitting by myself and I'm really assessing my mind. So although manifestation comes from the heart, it is our mind that directs our focal point and our feelings to that future reality. So it's almost like thing one, thing two in the Cat in the Hat, right? Think of it as like the cat is like the mind, the leader, the one that just tells them where to go, and thing one, thing two just does it. That's how kind of I think of it as the manifestation, the mind, and all of that. And so backtrack is things don't go the way that we want them to. Oh, we feel very ashamed that we couldn't sustain something. We couldn't sustain our health. We couldn't sustain our relationship. We couldn't sustain our finances, whatever that is. And a lot of us, we say that's the devil. We say that it's just how it is, life is lifing. But really it's about, if you are the creator of your reality and you believe in God, then you also believe that you played a part in it as well. It might not be the whole thing, but you played a part in it as well. And the hardest thing in this book is telling myself the part that I played, which was I neglected myself for the sake of loyalty, right? I was very much angry. I was very much very uptight, very masculine, very, you can say, have a hard time surrendering. And things happen because these are old programs. And I want you guys to understand, literally to understand, that even though you made that mistake, it's not entirely your fault. It's just a perception. It's just like literally a program that you're born into. And a good analogy that I wanted to give you guys is I work with children with autism, okay? Oh, by the way, I'm getting ready to go to gym. So don't be thinking that I'm out here. No, I'm getting ready to go to gym, okay? I'm trying to slim down in summertime. Okay, this is my gym outfit. Kind of getting there, but whatever. I want to show you guys. Sneak peek. Okay, so back to the question, back to the conversation. A lot of us are unsure how exactly we forgive ourselves, our guilt-ridden shame. It's normal. This is a human experience. You are a spirit, you are a soul having a human experience. And I always say people are suffering from being a human in terms of what you don't know plays a role in your life. So in this case, in my life, let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about one's journey to love, to find himself. So again, this has been a journey since I was 18. I sat there, I watched a video on Oprah, and I was like, you know what? I want to have the best relationship with myself. I want to love myself. I want to wake up and be like, yes to me. Yes, I know what I like, what I don't like, what makes me angry, what triggers me. I know what I want in a relationship. I know what I want in a friendship. I know what I want to eat, what I don't want to eat. I want to know Conda and everything and love her unconditionally and accept her for who she is. And the first 3 years, so from 19 to 22, it was really, really rough because I had no idea what I was doing, by the way. And so I was kind of watching videos, doing podcasts. I was kind of working out. I wasn't really intentful. Again, playing old programs. And by the way, it is okay to make mistakes. It's okay to let things happen. It's okay to be like, dang, I really just messed up. Oh my God, why did I do that? And it's okay to cry and sit in it for a little bit. So from 22 up until 23, really, I was just like, okay, I'm going to be intentful. I've seen people live an unintentional life, and I don't want to be that. So how do I love myself? How do I get the reality that I want? So I was reading 9 Laws of Attraction by Dr. Valentine. Let me see if I still have the book. So I read this book. Really, really helps me create great money management, great habits, great weight financial relationship, basically. Read this book because one thing is you must liberate your spirit in a world that is trying to chain it. This world will really break you down. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? So get yourself, if you love the Bible, read the Bible. If you love the Quran, read the Quran. Also, please do not judge or force your beliefs and your perspectives into other people. That's something that I've learned. Just because we think that we're liberated and we unconsciously think that they're suffering, don't do that to yourself or somebody else. Allow them the space to explore their own path, their own belief, right? Because if you truly love someone, you would not judge them. And just because you believe in one thing doesn't mean they necessarily entirely have to believe in that as well. You hold space for who they are. Again, I'm a free spirit, meaning I have a great relationship with Jesus Christ. I have a great relationship with my ancestors, with my angels. I have a great relationship with God. And I'm not like by the book, right? But I am very spiritual and I accept myself unconditionally. And this is how to heal my money habits. Okay, I read this. I'm starting to read this. I read Young Pablo, How to Love Yourself Better. I read Emotional Intelligence book. What else did I read? So all these books helped my mind heal and my heart open. And by the way, healing it's a forever thing. As long as you're human, you're healing some way, shape, or form. That is the biggest investment towards self-love, is being honest and healing yourself and taking accountability. And so in this case, one of the lies I told myself was, I'm just unlovable, right? Like, again, I grew up in the camp. Something happened in the camp that triggered the way that I saw myself as an object, I have to be perfect. I have to survive. So those 2.5, 3 years of my life from age 5 to age 7, right, 8, like something happened and my mind is blocked. But that specific counterpoint of which I'm trying to uncover is the reason why my relationships and friendships and everything like isn't the way that I wanted it to. And I just found out yesterday that I still have these thoughts of, I don't think anybody will like me. I don't know if somebody will ever want to marry me. I'm not sure if I ever could be a mother one day. And I see people, although I see people, I still tell myself this line, this program that has been running so deep into my life. And I see my mother going through it. And for the first time, God revealed to me that the reason why it feels overwhelming and it's almost like nonstop shedding, putting light, loving, like being honest, and it just feels like the world is stripping and pulling away, is because I'm actually coming into awareness. I'm actually coming into consciousness, meaning, oh my God, I cannot repeat the cycle. I just cannot think the way that I want to think. So yes, although Valentine's Day, we're spending ourselves single this year, and if you're experiencing that as well, please do not give up on love. Do not give up on humanity. Do not give up on yourself. When you truly love and believe in God and you go on this soul searching journey, you will find people just like you. And it might be alone, but this is your chance to tap into divinity. And I'll make another video on how I'm able to do that. And so you're always connected and you don't need a middleman. Number one, just because you're single or you don't have kids or family, in which I've learned, because I just was pushing, in our culture, you marry young, the husband provides, I'm like, I'm healing. That's so unheard of. It's so unheard of. It's like, it's almost like, what is that? Like, what are you doing? Sitting and crying? Like, go to work. That conscious program does not work anymore. My parents were able to do it, but look at their relationships, look at their finances, look at their state of mind and their health, right? But now I get a chance to redeem my family lineage and honor that. But it's not easy because everyone thinks you're crazy. Everyone thinks you're crazy for going on this soul-searching journey and focusing on yourself. I'm here to tell you, girl or guy, that do it. Because for the first time, although people in your life has played a role in the way that you are also responsible. I'm responsible. So after an accumulation of intense 6 months of just healing, reading, reflecting, journaling, and this happened, right? It happened Friday the 13th, so this is like a very divine feminine day. I literally cried myself to sleep because I told the universe what I wanted. I told the universe like what I need to fix, because it's not about finding the right partner, it is about becoming the right partner, right? It is about going inwards, because everybody is a reflection of you. So again, an example, I work with children with autism and I work with people with disability. Crazy schedule, right? I'm getting hits, I'm getting it. These children are so beautiful, but yet one of the lessons they taught me is they are just a reflection of you. You might not think like that, you might not want to see it, but they are simply a reflection of you. So one of my clients, okay, patient, very destructive, aggressive, and I realized this child is 5. Like, at some way, I was like that. We all come as children, tantrums, crying, we're not understanding who we are. So who am I to take love away just because that person is acting up? Like, who am I to be irritated because that client just needs some extra love? That has something to do with me. If they are a reflection of me, I'm the master of my universe, God lives in me, and I believe in God, then who am I to take away the love, the care, the kind, the compassion? And if they do irritate you, it's because internally, they're shining a light in a place that needs to be worked on. So for me, it's the aggression, it's the anger, it's the lack of patience, empathy, compassion. It's the why the conditional love, because I was given to this myself, like I was given conditional. Okay, conditional of attention, not even love. So I had no idea exactly what unconditional love was. Like, literally no idea. And it was Friday the 13th that I realized, like I get to give myself unconditional love, unwavering support, strength, faith, whatever that is, however I see fit, right? So I can give my clients that. And so despite me getting my, things thrown at me, like tantrums, crying, like, I'm exhausted, I'm on my last thread. I'm like, I still get to love this child. I still get to play a part in this child. And it's so funny. Sorry, my eyes are itching. It's so funny that at age 5, that's when everything went downhill. Meaning, like, my world broke, right? I realized I don't think anybody loves me, because if somebody did love me, why would my mama hit me? Why would I feel abandoned? Why would I feel like I have to be the caretaker, the provider? Why can't I be taken care of? Is there something wrong with me? And I realized, wait. Although this was like a decade-year worth of journey, I was like, wait. Let's go back. I experienced a perception of the infinite reality that is just not true anymore. Because guess what? Like yesterday, for the first time, I went out with a really close friend at work, and that was amazing. We had like a K-Town vibe barbecue. I have close friends that I can call upon, that I open my heart to, that's helping me on this healing journey. I have a mother who's trying to rekindle a relationship that she had a part to play with. I have a father who's stepping up. I have a sister who I'm getting close with who checks in on me. I'm like, wait, this lie of that I'm unlovable is not true. And I realized, if I can see a woman with a pregnant belly and a ring on her finger, then that is possible for me too, right? And a part of us, it's okay to be sad because we're grieving what we don't have. So now let's give that to us. And it is the giving unto us that is the hardest part, because how the hell do I actually give? Where do I start? Again, you can read this book, okay? You can read this book, or you can read this book. Let me show you guys another book that I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you guys. So, like, you can also, this is something that I need to read, but the reason why I advocate for books is because you're literally taking, think about this, one human being's entire life within these pages. So you're basically biohacking into your way of healing. You're basically like that's the answer. And we now live in a world where, of course, audiobooks are great. Of course, listening to podcasts is great. But the greatest healing technique that you can do isn't in necessarily the meditations. It isn't in writing and reading. It's simply, when a situation goes unexpected, how exactly do you apply what you read? So for me, it is really sitting down, unstimulated. I like to have a candle written or dim lights, like soft frequency music playing, undisturbed, and I write. When you write on these pages, you're talking to yourself, and your body keeps memories and scores that you know nothing about. Again, I don't care if you're single on Valentine's Day. There's nothing wrong. I don't care if you're married. There's nothing wrong. You are magnificently in a beautiful place, in a beautiful timeline. You are where you need to be. And there's nothing wrong with feeling shame, guilt of what you've done, or taking accountability. You are you, and that is the most beautiful thing. Guys, it took me really when I was, I would say 3, because the programming started to really accelerate until I was, this year, I'm 23, gonna turn 24 in a couple months, right? It took me that long to realize I was seeing myself in a very disgusting, horrid way. And I was using my experiences because I couldn't help it. That's all I knew to validate that, right? So now, healing and going on this journey of love means, okay, if I can take these ugly, gruesome experiences of literally modern day slavery, slapping a logo of refugee camp, right? Okay, if I can take this perspective of living in a camp, being abused, growing up, I started cussing when I was 3 years old, right? My grandmother smoked and drank herself of all her trauma because the relationship with her dad, her husband or her was terrible. Again, I don't really know my grandparents like that. I would love to. It's not gonna happen. So, and some things you just have to accept for what it is. You can't change someone else's program. So I grew up in this world, like, my mother was just in and out of consciousness, right? I always say at that time I was raised by a demon, but I was also raised by a wounded woman. So that's all I do. Think about that. You don't ever lay a hand on the ones that you love, and you definitely don't shame them for crying, but that's all she knew. So I forgave myself and I saw her in a different light. But that took like 20 years, like literally 20 years, guys. Like actually, say 15 plus years. It took me a really long time because it wasn't like I wasn't working out, losing myself, getting in toxic relationships, like the part of healing is you're gonna do everyday lives and run this cycle until you really wake up and be like, okay, I'm gonna pick out a book, I'm gonna invest in this, and I will open my heart out to this book no matter what. And so I'm having a frequency shift, a perspective shift, and I would not change anything for the world because I will not go back to this aggressive, masculine woman who has no hint of femininity or the safe space for herself. I now step into my divine feminine authority and I will not leave my post. Translation into, I don't care what the world says. I don't care if they say I don't have money. I don't care if they say I don't have a business. I don't care if they say I don't have a relationship or I'm not married. If I'm not happy, if I'm not joyful, if I can't come to myself at the end of the day and really create a safe space for me to talk about my emotions, how can I expect that for somebody else? And that was my biggest lesson. I needed to be there for me. I needed to shed those tears that I should have shed, that I just had to survive before I could thrive. That's what they don't talk about in the manifestation. You cannot manifest out of trauma. You will only manifest more trauma. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you don't learn your lesson. Like, you absolutely learn your lesson. Don't get me wrong. It is just about, I don't want to repeat this cycle. And to wrap things up and to give you guys more encouragement in a world of, you see the Epstein files, you see everything going wrong with Israel. Like, you see the world and these class of people using perception and distortion to rob you of thinking that what you do actually make a difference. Like, you have the power. And it took me a long time. When somebody used to say, you have the power, what are you talking about? I'm in my car, living in my car. What are you talking about power? So that came from a really, really low point. And so my whole life is about bringing power back to the people, bringing light back into the people. Now, I wanted to say one thing is, your dad will tell you what you are, and your mom will show you what you are. If we're made in the image of God, then we absolutely are made in the image of our parents because we come from them. They're the first teachers, absent or not. And it is a personal responsibility. Pain doesn't discriminate to get to point A to point B. And I hope this video kind of helps you to encourage you that if you see married couples, if you see children, if you see a business owner, if you see the life that you want, it is possible. Someone is already living in it. But that doesn't mean that somebody has everything figured out too, because then they probably want you. They probably want that state of being of figuring out. A lot of people have suffering. We just tell ourselves that somebody has it better than us. And if you really think about the Matrix, and this is just food for thought, this program, why would anybody want to control a civilization if you truly are, if your internal equals your external. One only controls what they truly don't have. And the appearance of wealth and health is played into their life. So what I mean by that is, like, I can have the Lambo, the cars, I can have a banging body, I can look good on Instagram, I can have BBL, all this stuff. But why is it that I keep pursuing? You only pursue and want what you don't have because this deep innate desire, which, don't get me wrong, do you? I'm simply just saying, do you see what I mean? Is we lie to ourselves. Not only are we unlovable, but we don't have what others have. Therefore, we dim down our light. Therefore, we use other people's success as an excuse not to be extraordinary, which is not the case. And in Valentine's Day theme, you might see like relationships, you might see families and people being pregnant and marriage. Like, that's something that I desire, right? But I'm also going to be like, okay, hold up. Like, as much as I desire this, I'm not going to use these experiences that I see as a way to shame myself, because I'm just as worthy. If I want that, I can have that. It's just the gap between, here's my mindset that doesn't work, what is it that I need to figure out and feel and heal, then I come up with the techniques, and then I get the results. If you don't believe me, if you have a craving and you're going to Taco Bell, best believe you're going to be in the drive-through line. So if you can crave something and you get to that destination, okay, you will have the results. So why can't that be applied into your life? Why? It is literally just a skill gap. Human suffering comes from our lack of knowledge, our malfunction in thinking. In this case, in Valentine's Day, and in my life personally, it is the malfunction and lie that I tell myself that I'm unlovable, that nobody will want to marry me, that look at all these emotions and struggles, and like, who sees me? Because I wasn't seen at a young age. Like, why now? And I realized, I was just experiencing a shot in the quantum field that doesn't exist except in my mind of this pain. Now I'm going to tell myself a different story, that, wait, hold up. I've been working out. I've been taking my supplements. I've been praying, meditating. I've been reading books. I've been working. I've been walking my purpose, taking care of these children, these kids. That is what I love. I'm doing God's work. So why wouldn't I have the life? And the how? Okay, the how. Before I wrap up this video, I wanted to show you guys, if I can find the quote here. At least for me, I was really stuck up on the whole, how how exactly do I do this? Like, what do you mean? I don't see it. I don't see the results. What am I doing? And I realized there was this quote, let me go find it, that really gave me a perspective shift. And I'm really happy. And I also look up to Stormy Wellington as well. She's really amazing on what she does. And she made it okay for me to be me, And she was talking about, she has unwavering faith. And in my culture, it doesn't really talk about faith. It's just an unknown thing. It's kind of like you pray, but you don't really know who you're praying to. You're not really conscious of what exactly are you doing. People talk about each other. It's a frequency that I don't want to be a part of. And you hear about faith is power. Faith will get you places. I hear it in the Bible all the time, but I wasn't necessarily someone that believed in myself or source, just because I was never taught that. And so my whole life was about faith. I kind of had faith, but I had to really wake up to what exactly is sincere faith. How exactly do I use faith to get the results that I want, to honor God, to honor my life, to walk in my purpose, to serve other people. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can in this book, but she was basically talking about how, here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank God. See, alignment. I don't know if you guys see. It says, my dreams and goals are coming to reality. How they will get done is not my business. It is God's business. Y'all see that? Again, my dreams and goals are coming to reality. How they will get done is not my business. It is God's business. And I printed. Sorry, the video cut off, but I want to show you guys my vision board, right? So it's obviously my favorite car that I wanted, what it looks like, the bedroom that I want in the future, just like all sorts of things. Like I'm just gonna be crazy in myself, like the how I want the living room to look like every last detail. You know, like I see myself as a business owner on whatever that looks like, and I wanted to be accountable because it's time that I stop running away from my purpose and using money, lack of experience, quote unquote, as an excuse to not go after my dream. And the biggest mistake that I made was thinking that I couldn't do it when everybody that I followed lived the life that I wanted, right? Again, I'm experiencing a point in reality that doesn't exist anymore, that doesn't support. So now it's like, if it's not making me happier, healthier, if it's not getting me closer to divine, if it's not impacting the people that I want to impact, then I'm not going to add that into my life. I love you guys so much. You are beautiful, single or not. You are more lovable, single or not. You are absolutely equal in the divine's eye. And don't let these Jeffrey Epstein murder case files, and you know what I'm talking about, because I know you love your murder mysteries. I know you love the crime shows. I know you love that, oh, like here's a shooting here, like, oh, things are going wrong, inflation. Again, looking at the bigger picture, taking yourself out of the mind, it's just a matrix program. It's just a matrix program. True power comes from understanding that, first of all, you do have power, you believe you have power, you know you have power, and you execute power, okay? And again, why would anybody want to control an entire world? If you are truly the creator of your reality, one must come from a very dark place to want something they don't have, to have control over their lives. But they cannot do that, so they control what? Others. You see these in relationships. And that's just a food for thought that I want to share with you guys, is that, like, don't let people scam you and fool you and thinking that, like, there's always a higher up. Like, you are straight from source. Sin is arrogance. It's just one's ultimate battle between your union with God. So loving yourself means seeing yourself as you are, accepting everything, right? And understanding that that is what it's being human. We're just all trying to survive until we can thrive. And I hope the video cut off again. That was my alarm. I need to be working out. Okay, let me wrap this up. I hope you understand that you're more loved than you've ever been. And if anyone hasn't told you so, I believe in you. I trust that you will find yourself. I trust that you'll be more happy and more blissful than you've ever been, and continue to shine the light in places that are most dark. And if bad things happen to you, maybe it's time that you're the good thing that happens, because you're probably the only good thing that happens in that world. So be the light that you've always been, as you are from light. And like I always say, be fruitful, go forth and multiply Christ consciousness.